On somebody of Frank Lautenberg's stature and long-standing service to New Jersey. And he's 89, but he doesn't act 89. He's still very witty and resourceful and delivering for the state. And Cory Booker knows that. I mean, he's obviously somebody that Cory Booker's had to look to get the kind of coverage for relief for Hurricane Sandy that everybody is so desperate for. On the other hand, Cory Booker's not stupid either. He knows he's stepping on toes, but he also knows that Frank Lautenberg is 89, and it's not unheard of for senators at some point to decide to step down. We saw Senator Rockefeller yesterday, and frankly, there have been challenges that have been successful over the years. Dale Bumpers took on J. William Fulbright, a very esteemed senator 40 years ago, and we saw Senator Specter lose in a primary not too long ago. So it happens. It's not easy. Nobody kind of likes it. There's a kind of an ick factor within the party, but, you know, that's life in modern politics.
You know, some of the statements being made, there was a report that a top aide from Lautenberg was not happy, shall we say, about where Cory Booker might be going. So, Richard, is he handling it the right way, though? Because if you're getting these sorts of statements being said by top aides from Lautenberg's camp, is there a better way of moving forward on this campaign?
You know, to read between the lines, it sounds like Mayor Booker tried to reach out to Senator Lautenberg without any success so far. You can't really begrudge Senator Lautenberg sort of basically thinking, you young whippersnapper, you'll have your time. Don't take me on. Again, I'm delivering. I'm doing exactly what the people in the state want. But again, I think what he's doing is kind of getting his foot in so that if Senator Lautenberg decides that he's had it, he's made money in a past life, he's got a beautiful younger wife, and he really can kind of enjoy himself now. He may decide this, you know, who needs this aggravation in the Senate, and then Cory Booker would be presumably next in line.
Ken, tell me what you think here. Would Republicans rather go up against Frank Lautenberg or Cory Booker in 2014?
Tweedledee, Tweedledum. I don't think. Look, in the final analysis, I think what Cory is doing is pretty smart. He's placing a bet that Frank is not going to run again, and he's trying to position himself at the head of the line for anybody else who might to replace Frank. And so, look, this is not a game for wallflowers or folks who are milquetoast. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a pretty Darwinian game, and I think, you know, he's just playing his card.
Ken, listen to this. This is what Cory Booker said also in that WNBC interview.
As frustrated as I was with him for taking time to evolve, as he said, it was a glorious thing to see the first president of the United States to stand up and affirm the equality.
Talking about same-sex marriage and marriage equality, Ken, should Republicans reconsider their stance on issues such as same-sex marriage?
No, I don't think so. And, you know, earlier today, Colin Powell talked about the dark vein of intolerance. That plays both ways. When you have folks on the left who will take a defense of traditional marriage as being an act of bigotry. I think we all need to grow up and play this out in the public arena, both in the courts and in the legislative bodies of the country.
The president's comments that were made before the election certainly did assist in getting a large gay vote to go his way.
Well, that was a political strategy, and it was a political convenience strategy. You know, just 2 years earlier.
But can Republicans ignore that development?
Oh, I think so. I think, you know, if you look at across these United States, 32 odd states have basically been supportive of traditional marriage. And I think, you know, that is the prevailing view in the country. And I think it will be the prevailing view in the highest court in the land.
Okay. Richard, we'll stay in New Jersey. That's our state for the day, I guess. Governor Chris Christie is riding a wave of popularity. 3/4 of the voters in New Jersey approve of the job he is doing. What's your thought? New Jersey Democrats even put up a candidate to run against Christie. Booker now evidently not going to go that way.
Right. Yeah, look, I think you always, as a party, look, it's a blue state. Let's not kid ourselves. And hats off to Governor Christie for having the standing that he does. But if the Democratic Party in New Jersey can't find somebody to run a really serious campaign against him, because the fact is, until Sandy came along, Chris Christie did not seem like the Superman that he seems today. Not to say that, not to begrudge anything that he's done, but again, there were policy differences that split Democrats and Republicans pretty seriously. I will say that the notion of him running for president, I think, is a joke, because let's think about it. Marco Rubio is in the Senate today because Governor Christ hugged Barack Obama. What Governor Christie did was praise him right before the election. He basically badmouthed Speaker Boehner and the House Republicans. He's talking favorably about gun control. I just don't see those as positions that are going to kind of work nationally in a Republican primary.
Ken, do you think that hug that Christ had with the president at the time is similar to what we're going to see with Christie in the future, that because he works so closely and so well with the president, that'll come around and hurt him somehow, perhaps from conservative Republicans that have already come out and said, not the happiest with Governor Christie at the moment?
Well, look, the Republican Party is a center-right party, and Governor Christie is a pretty much of a centrist, but that works well in New Jersey. Running for the presidency or the nomination for the presidency in the Republican Party, I think his left of center views will probably not bode well for him.
Even with being on the cover of Time magazine, huh?
That might be the kiss of death.
That might be the kiss of death right there, is what Ken says. All right. Maybe you and Richard agree on that one. Okay, Richard Goodstein and Ken Blackwell.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you both. Appreciate
Always good to be with you.
And don't be on the cover of Time magazine, I guess is what you're saying. Up next, we flash back 2 firsts for the country, which both occurred